If you're applying to the Indian School of Business, the ISB PGP 2026-27 application, then you already know that it's more than just an application form. It's about presenting a story of leadership, growth, and potential. Over the past decade as an MBA admissions consultant, I've seen the ISB admission process evolve into one of the most mature and holistic evaluation in the Indian MBA space. A great GMAT or a GRE score won't guarantee you admission, and a moderate score will not block you if you build the right narrative. In this video today, I'll break down the ISB application process so that you can plan and prepare systematically for your ISB PGP 2026-27 application. So what is the ISB PGP program? First of all, let's look into that. The ISB PGP is the one-year full-time MBA which is offered by Indian School of Business across its two campuses, which are ISB Hyderabad and ISB Mohali. So this is a merit-based admissions process. And before you dive into the ISB application process, let's first check your eligibility. So you need to have a bachelor's degree, any discipline, or an equivalent degree to apply to the ISB BGP program. You need to have at least 2 years of full-time work experience by 31st March 2026 for the ISB application process for the current intake, that is the 26-27 class. Then you can submit either the GMAT Classic scores or the GMAT Focus Edition or the GR. Only the test center scores will be accepted for the ISB application process for 2026-27 applications. And in case your undergraduate education was not in English, then you need to also submit your TOEFL or your IELTS score. So this is as far as the ISB PGP eligibility is concerned. Now coming to the ISB application deadlines for the 26-27 intake. For 2026 intake applications, your round 1 closes on September 14th, 2025. Round 2 closes on 7th December 2025, and round 3 for the ISB admissions process will close on 25th of January 2026. So these are the three application rounds by which you can submit your ISB PGP applications this year. So ISB is looking for leadership potential, not just job titles. What matters in your ISB application or in the ISB admission process as a whole are things like your promotions, your scope of responsibility at work, the cross functional exposure that you have at work, in entrepreneurial experience if you have any, international or multicultural experience in case you have any. So all of these things are important for building a strong professional profile for ISB. So what is the ISB evaluation process like? The evaluation process requires you to submit an application. This is an online application where you fill up a form. Along with that, you need to submit your essays and a letter of recommendation, post which there will be a shortlisting stage. Once you are shortlisted by ISB, then you go in for the interview. All of these processes are within themselves an elaborate sequence, but this is how it will be roughly. And after the interview, there are deadlines by which you will get the decisions for the ISB admissions process for whichever round you are applying to. We'll get into each of these details in the next few slides in this video. Now, what are the documents that you require to submit for the ISB admissions process for the 2026-27 applications? So, along with your online application, along with that, you will need one resume. So, the resume that you submit to ISB has to be in the format that ISB has given within the application portal. So, the first thing that you do when you create your login for ISB admissions this year is to please download that resume format and start building your resume on that particular format. No other format will be accepted. Second is that make sure that when you're submitting your resume or when you're preparing your resume, you are not adding any details like your contact information, your grades, your salary, or any other social links within the, even not even your grades or your CGPA, in the resume. Just keep it purely about the work and the categories or the subheadings which are given within the resume format that ISB has given on the website. And you will get this in the application portal on the first page itself. The moment you log in, create your login, you will get it on the first page. Otherwise, you will get it in the upload section as well. You can just move to the upload section and you will find this information over there also. Along with this, you will be required to submit your academic records. You need transcripts of all the education that you have completed till date, and test scores, either the GMAT, the classic score, the GMAT focus edition score, or the GRE test score. Only the test scores which have been taken at the test centers will be accepted. GMAT or GRE test scores are valid for 5 years, so see that your score is valid at that particular deadline. And then you also need your ID documents like your Aadhaar card or your passport, depending on the availability. And just go to the form, you will get the personal details section. There you will need to upload the ID documents. What about ISB scholarships for 2026-27? So all the applicants are considered for the merit-based scholarships. However, ISB will look at everything and your performance in each stage of the application process to be able to decide whether you get the merit-based scholarship or not. Apart from that, there will be diversity scholarships and need-based scholarships which you can apply to. So this option for applying to the ISB scholarships will be available to you once the application is submitted. A window for submitting your essays or your application for the scholarships opens up. That is for the diversity or the need based applications for scholarships. This is the stage when you can add that particular information and apply for these scholarships. We have separate elaborate videos about the ISB scholarship, so make sure that you are watching those as well for the complete list of eligibility as well as requirements in terms of the scholarship applications. So this was the first step of getting into ISB. You need to understand the eligibility, you need to understand what ISB looks for, what are the documents that will be required from you, and what are the test scores or other requirements that ISB has, so that you can decide that yes, this is the school where I want to apply, and do understand the ISB scholarships process as well. Now let's go to the second step. The second step for you is going to be the ISB. So this time for the 2026-27 application cycle, the ISB essay topics have been announced, and these are slightly different from the previous years, so which is actually very interesting for us because it becomes a very new playground for you to be able to put your ideas across. For us, like new topics, we enjoy writing essays for new topics. It gives you a lot of scope for innovation, and the topics that ISB has given out this time do actually give you a lot of scope of introspection as well as innovation in the way you are presenting your essays. So there are two mandatory essay topics this time. You need to put up an essay which will talk about your leadership through lived experiences. So that is one chance that you have to differentiate yourself. Second is about the intellectual curiosity and motivation for pursuing an MBA. So these are the two mandatory topics. Plus, there's a very interesting optional essay which you can use if you want to really bring out a truly unique narrative. You can use this particular topic in the optional essay to talk about the unique perspectives that you bring to the class that have shaped your worldview and what potential contributions you can have to the community as well as the cohort. So these are the three essays that you need to write. In case you need any help with your ISB essays, feel free to get in touch with us. Step 3 is your test score requirement. So you would already have written your GMAT or your GRE score, but when you are putting up your ISB application, it is a mandatory requirement that you need to have written the test when you are submitting your application. The tests that are applicable are the GMAT or the GRE. GMAT, you can have either the GMAT Classic score or the GMAT Focus Edition score. Either of these will do. In terms of the application process, you will require the school codes which I have mentioned over here. So these are the school codes for sending your GMAT score to ISB or for sending your GRE score to ISB. Your official scores must reach ISB. A lot of times we have seen people committing this particular mistake that they don't follow up on their official scores whether they have reached ISB or not. So when you are filling up your ISB form, you have to submit that particular date when you have requested the official scores to be sent to ISB from either GMAC or the ETS website. And once you do that, please put a continuous reminder of 7 or 10 days with yourself so that you can follow up on the request that you have sent with GMAC or ETS and make sure that the score reaches ISB on time. So this is one part of the requirement in terms of the test score. Second is that whenever you are filling up the ISB application with the GMAT test scores, there are two requirements that ISB has, which is the GMAT ID and one is the GMAT appointment number. So if you look at this is a dummy form that we have brought in for your reference. So the GMAT ID is available on the left panel of your mba.com login page or your gmac.com profile page under the personal information section. So just expand this drop down and you'll find your GMAT ID right over here on the left panel. And the appointment number, the GMAT appointment number, will be here on the right panel under the scores that you have received. So these are two important things that you require. And in case you don't have your official test score reports and GMAT is not giving PDFs or printouts now, so in case you have to submit your test score report, make sure that when you take the screenshot for adding to the application portal, you are taking this complete window into account where your GMAT ID is visible as well as the right panel of your appointment ID is also visible. Then take the screenshot don't take the screenshot of this white panel alone. The black and the white sections of the window should be visible in your screenshot for it to be a valid GMAT submission for the purpose of the ISB application form. So this is one important information that I wanted to share because there are a lot of questions around this every year. Now comes the personal details section of ISB PGP application. So in terms of the application, this is where you will start with. You will have to add the basic information and also add your interview preferences. So in terms of interview preferences, you have the choice of selecting one of the cities that are available on the panel, or you can also select the virtual interview. Subject to availability, you will be able to, ISB will be scheduling the interviews and you will be able to interview with the panel. So when you log into the application form, you will be able to see that there will be options of choosing from Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, Kolkata, and virtual or the online mode for your interview. So these are the options that you will get for the ISB interview for the 2026-27 application. Next comes the education details section. So for the ISB PGP 2026-27 application, what is the education information that you need to add over here? First is the higher education in terms of either any masters or any integrated program that you have pursued, or let's start from the secondary education. So class 12th is what is required, then your undergraduate degree, and then any other higher education like a master's or let's say a joint degree that you have pursued, those can be entered in this particular section. This is quite a straightforward section. Have your transcripts ready because you'll have to add those PDFs over here. Then comes the professional experience section. So add your current employment, add your previous positions wherever you have worked. Try and add it in the reverse chronological order for the sake of clarity and understandable. And then you can also add about your internships and trainings, anything relevant to your particular candidature that you want to present to ISV. In terms of the work experience calculation, no overlap is allowed. So make sure that no two activities or no two jobs can be overlapping. In case you are doing a part-time job and a full-time job at the same time, your work experience will be calculated on the basis of the full-time work experience that you have. And you need to have a minimum of 2 years of work experience to apply to ISD PGP. This work experience calculation is till 31st March 2026. So remember, when you're calculating your work experience, don't take it on the current date when you have started thinking about putting up your application. You need to calculate your total work experience till 31st March 2026. If it exceeds 2 years, then you can apply to ISB PGP. In terms of work experience, there are some special cases that you might want to know about. If you are a chartered accountant, your articleship will be considered as part-time experience. It will be valuable for your total profile presentation, but it will not be counted for your work experience calculation in terms of the years of eligibility. If you are a medical background applicant, then in your internship will. If you are an entrepreneur, then if you're an entrepreneur or a freelancer, you can also apply to ISB. You need to earmark that in the proper section in the work experience section. Make sure that you are mentioning self-employed or freelance work and giving the requisite information accordingly. And if you are from the armed forces, then also you can add that particular work experience. You can apply to ISB. There is no problem at all. In terms of the work experience section, there's one thing which is different from the previous year's application is that you will have those 5 lines are back when we used to enter the description of the work experience right over there. Next comes the award and the recognition section. So in the award and the recognition section, use this opportunity to talk about your community service, talk about your sports achievements or any other awards that you have got in terms of these scholastic achievements. So you can add all of these in the awards and the recognition section. Now, next comes the ISB PGP letter of recommendation. So, the letter of recommendation is a very important part of your application to ISB, and make sure that you're doing it on time and you're selecting your recommenders wisely. Who can be your recommenders? Any professional recommendation is allowed for the sake of putting up your ISB PGP application. Who you choose as your recommender is up to you. You need to choose your ISB recommenders from the point of view of what is the value addition that you brought to the organization and what they will talk about you. You need to add a professional email for them, and the evaluation format will be sent out to your recommenders. There is no separate letter that they need to attach or post. There is no letterhead requirement. The recommenders, they will receive a form from ISB on their email, and they have to fill up their form for you. The deadline for ISB recommendation submission is the same as your application deadline, which is 14th of September. And also remember that the round one application submission deadline is not till 12 midnight. So make sure that you have this in mind and you're not taking up till midnight to keep on submitting your application. You don't have that luxury this time. There are some very subtle changes to the letter of recommendation process and very welcome changes as well. If you need to change your recommender's email address, you can do that from the ISB portal now. As an applicant, you will be able to see from within the portal as to what is the status of your recommendation letter. Has your recommender submitted it or not? You don't need to follow up with them all the time. And third is your recommender will have the option of saving a draft. So it is not like a fill and shut kind of a case. He can, if he wants to keep on working on the draft for the recommendation letter for your ISB PGP application, then now he has the option to save the draft. So you can ask them about it, initiate the process early so that they can do it at their own convenient leisure time and submit a strong recommendation for you. The next step is your submission checklist. You need to know about what are the things that are required for you to be able to submit a strong application. Definitely, your essays, your story is very important, but at the same time, having the right documents and having them at the right time is also equally important. So, this is what I want to reiterate over here. Complete all the application sections. Make sure that you're not leaving any application section just for the sake of lack of time. And if you have information to add, do add that. Keep the documents that you will require to upload at the time of applications ready with you. So in terms of your application readiness, you should have all the documents ready with you. That is the proof of identity, your photograph which will be required, the ISB resume, which is a very important document. You need to start preparing it on time. Then the proof of income, your scorecard or test center slip or the appointment copy, whichever you want to add or upload, and your transcript. So these are the things that you will be required to upload. So have them in the prescribed formats ready, and also this look at the sizes of the documents which are applicable. Then submit your recommendation from a professional contact. Do that on time and request the official test scores to be sent to ISB. These are external factors that you have to keep on navigating and orchestrating to submit your timely application and a strong application. So, along with your essays, along with other things that you're working on the application, make sure that your official test scores are also reaching ISB on time. Do that early in case you want to. There's no harm in doing that if you have your test score already. And then submit before the round one deadline, that is 14th of September, 9 p.m. So make sure that the time, also remember that the time is 9 p.m., it's not 12 midnight. So don't miss out on that particular opportunity. Now, what are the windows for the ISB interviews? So the tentative interview dates are available. So in terms of round one applicants, you can expect the interviews happening in week 3 October up till week 4 November. And the results are expected in end of November 2025. If you are submitting parallel applications, this is also going to be an important timeline for you to plan what other rounds or what other applications you want to apply to. For round two applicants, your interviews, you can expect them to happen anywhere from the first week of January onwards up till the third week of February. And the results are expected in the end of February. And for the round three applicants, expect your interviews from the second week of February 2026 up till second week of March 2026. So these are the windows for the interviews to be conducted, and the results for the round 3 can be expected in mid of March 2026. So this is how your calendar for ISB application will look like. In case you are missing out on round 1, then that is when the round 2 and round 3 interviews can be expected. So plan your applications and the preparedness for the applications accordingly. In case you need any assistance with your ISB interviews, your ISB essays, ISB application process as such, feel free to get in touch with us. We'll be able to help you in. And please don't self reject yourself. In case you are someone who's thinking that, oh, I have all the profiles that I've looked at who have gone into ISB, they have done great work and my work is not so great. You're still missing out on that introspection that we might be able to help you with. So get in touch with us, get a profile evaluation. In case you need any support in terms of your ISB application, your ISB essays, or your ISB interview preparation, feel free to get in touch with us. We'll be happy to help you out. So, guys, just recapitulating the 7 steps that you require to get into ISB. First is get your GMAT or your GRE. Check your eligibility for ISB. Get your GMAT or GRE test scores on time for the application rounds that you are planning. Get down to the application process early on. fill up the rest of the sections. The fourth thing that you have to get started with is the ISB resume. And the fifth step is your ISB recommendation letter. Make sure that you are submitting your ISB recommendation letter on time. The sixth step that you need to do is make sure all the externalities are taken care of, that your test scores have reached ISB on time. You have all the upload documents ready with you. This is a very important step. Otherwise, people miss out on deadlines just not having their transcripts on time. In case you're missing a transcript from your, let's say, your eighth semester or sixth semester, or any semester in between, please initiate the process of getting those documents now. And the seventh step is to submit on time as well as work on the ISB scholarships application. So your work doesn't end with the ISB application submission. You will get a window for submitting your ISB scholarships application as well. So when that window opens up, do that research now so that you know which ISB scholarships you are eligible for. For the merit based scholarship, you will be considered automatically. But in case you are going to apply to any need based or any diversity based scholarships, then you need to know which ones you are eligible for and start preparing for that also simultaneously. So, these are the 7 steps which are important for you for getting into ISB in the 2026-27 cycle. All the best once. Do like and share this video and subscribe to the channel for more updates. We'll keep on sharing more information about business school applications as and when they start coming in.